Sure.
Okay. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Zach Jose podcast. My name is Zach Jose, and today I'm here with a very special guest. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Kaitlyn Ang. I go to UCLA, and I'm really excited to be on this podcast.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to have you here. This is going to be a really good one. Yeah, so the topic today is something that's very near and dear to my heart, and I'm sure yours as well, but we're going to be doing our top 10 favorite Disney characters.
Yeah, I've wanted to talk about this for a while, so I'm really excited to be here.
You just want to kick it off?
Yeah, and just disclaimer that these characters come from animated, non-animated books, anything with the Disney logo on it.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So, let's start. I'll start off with my number 10. So my favorite character, my 10th favorite character, I suppose, is Thanos from the most recent Avengers films. And then, I gotta say, I do like him a lot. He's very passionate, very driven as a character. And so a lot of film goers saw that and loved him. There's a whole subreddit culture dedicated to Thanos did nothing wrong and talk about everything about that. That was awesome. And just seeing that, I think he was a well-written character.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I'll turn this down. But yes, good stuff. What about you?
Okay, my number 10 is Coda from Brother Bear. So, reminder for anyone who hasn't watched Brother Bear, it's a great movie, you should watch it. He's the youngest baby bear, and basically he goes through a very traumatic time in his life, but he's still a kid, so he doesn't really process that trauma. Mm-hmm. And he learns about brotherhood, and it's not necessarily biological, and he has this really rough realization of what happened with his mother. I'm trying not to spoil it too much, but it's amazing because he's such an innocent child, and even though he's gone through some terrible things, he still decides to forgive.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's cool. I liked Brother Bear a lot growing up. Me and my brother kind of felt like those were us too on the screen, so that's good.
Phil Collins wrote the soundtrack for that, so there's another point.
That's a way to get to my heart. Oh, Philly. Speaking of Phil Collins, or I guess that kind of era of old Disney, my next character is Genie from Aladdin. Yeah, voiced by Robin Williams. I love that. I love him a lot. For one, he's a genie. He could do literally anything, and he does, and it's phenomenal and just outstanding every time. But then, he's also very empathetic, right? You get to understand why he struggles and he wishes for freedom, and the way that he's selfless when he helps Aladdin out, time and time again. So that's good. I'm not sure about modern Genie
Will Smith.
I haven't seen that movie, so
oh really?
No, I haven't. But I'm sure he's good. But Robin Williams that's the GOAT. Yeah,
no, it's true. He's the original. My number 9, I will say I kind of cheated, but it's because they are all on the same level. But it's the ultimate trio of Champo, Yao, and Ling from Mulan.
Oh.
They're just the best side characters where they all have their distinct personalities, and you see it immediately in the training sequences. Mm-hmm. But also at the end, it really shows that they're not afraid to put quote unquote their masculinity on the line by dressing up as concubines, and they're totally down with it. They trust Ping or Mulan from the get-go, and they never lose that trust, which I really appreciate, because some characters like Li Shang kind of lose sight of that, but they never did.
Yeah, Mulan is a great movie.
It is.
I like the training montage. I think that makes it, be a man, the whole when they slowly get the realization that they can do this and they can, get the fish or the...
Exactly. And it's hard work. They did not get it easily.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Man, that's good. Okay. What else we got? Oh, hard work. Speaking of that, my number 8 favorite character of all time is Russell from Up. And let me tell you about a kid with dedication. Russell has done every single Wilderness Explorer badge except for the helping an elderly person, and he goes above and beyond to help that elderly person. So that, and I don't know, Up is a great movie, but Russell's just a fun character. I don't think it'd be the same without him. Just some old man in balloons.
Yeah, and I just adding on to that, it's weird because normally you see a main character being a young person and the older people are the side characters, but not in Up. Russell's kind of the side character, but he's definitely not just a side character.
Yeah. What about you?
Okay, my number 8 is Eugene Fitzherbert, but not from Tangled the original, but from Tangled the animated series.
Oh.
You just see so much more development on his part, like it's building off the movie. He goes through this whole thing where he tries to propose to Rapunzel, but like the timing's never right, so she says no because she wants to find herself.
Like Kristoff in
That,
Frozen.
yep. Okay, hold on to that.
Okay.
But yeah, and he just never loses sight of that love, and he's always so dedicated to her. And he's just gone through a lot, and like he has all these identity crises with his father, and like him finding out who he really is. But then he's always still by Rapunzel's side.
Wow.
Yeah.
He is a great character. I haven't seen the animated series, but I was about to put him on my list. I like him a lot. Yeah. You know who else I like a lot? I'll just move this along. Number 7.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite Disney character, my 7th favorite Disney character is Goofy from Disney. Everything, I suppose. I mean, seeing him in like, I think I first saw him in the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Yes.
And then subsequently, like the Goofy movies were amazing. Those are just like, me and my sisters and brother, we would sit down, plug in the Goofy movie. I think it was a VCR, and then just watch that over and over again. Freaking awesome. And then we had like the PlayStation 1 video game where it's him. It's just like a bunch of triangles, but it looks like Goofy. So you get to walk around and stuff. And then like all the merch and like me as a baby, because those are like the characters that your parents would get for you. I had a lot of Goofy stuff. So
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would Disney bound as Goofy all the time because my sisters wanted to be Mickey and Minnie, so I had to be Goofy.
The sacrificial love there.
I mean, Goofy's a great character. Nothing sacrificial about it. Okay, my number 7 is Jim Hawkins from Treasure Planet. Another underrated movie, but it's so good.
Whoa, I forgot about him.
It's so good. Jim is a troubled kid, but it's not troubled because like he doesn't like try or anything. It's just that his interests don't align with what society would tell him.
Right.
So then,
he'd rather solar surf.
Exactly. So then when he goes on this adventure, finds this like treasure map, he really finds himself because he has the hard work and discipline. And then he just discovers what he's passionate about, and he's really good at it.
Right.
And he has the best heart, and he like no one really seems to see that. But, like, it's there, and then at the end, it's finding, like, yes, he has this best heart, he's being recognized for it.
I think Treasure Planet also had a really good training montage.
Oh, the best training montage. I love the songs in Treasure Planet. I'm Still Here. Very good.
Oh, man. Yeah, and I like how they're able to develop his character, like, through in that song. Like, you don't even see his dad except for, like, maybe his boots.
Right.
And then, yeah. Oh, and then that scene in the end where he makes the makeshift solar surfer and he shoots across. Like, when I was... Okay, so I'm reading Harry Potter right now. And when I first envisioned the Quidditch matches that they play, I thought Harry was standing on his broomstick like that. But then, you know, it's like, oh man, he clutched it between his like ankles or whatever. I'm like, come on, that's so lame. I want to see some like epic like what's it called, broom surfing. I don't know.
Yeah, no, solar surfing's amazing, and like you said, the ending reflects the beginning perfectly.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, Kaitlyn, you just got some great characters here.
Thank you.
So my next one is number 6 is Wendy Darling from Peter Pan the animated film. And then I mean, I've always liked her a lot. She's a cool character. She's a big sister. I don't have any big sisters. But her being the big sister to those two boys was awesome. I mean, I guess at one point she's like technically the mother because they're like, oh man, you're like, and she does play that really well. But I do like her from start to finish. She's a really good character in that movie.
Okay.
Did you ever watch Peter Pan?
I watched Peter Pan when I was younger, but honestly, a lot of the details are very hazy. I mean, I am an older sister. I didn't like Wendy that much, but that's also because I thought she was a little bland. I mean, like, in comparison to Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, like, it's hard to stand out as a normal human.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, my number 6 is again from Tangled the series. It's Varian. He is voiced by Jeremy Jordan, so plus because he gets an amazing song, actually several amazing songs. And what I really liked about his character is he's a young kid turned like good guy turned villain, and like the heartbreaking part is because you could totally see why he was a villain in season 1. And then he's completely gone for season 2. And the fans are immediately really mad because Varian is our favorite and most beloved character.
Really?
So they bring him back for season 3, and this time they have a redemption. And it's amazing because like we've wanted him for so long to come back to the show, and the writers actually heard us and they put him back in, and he's just amazing.
Did you write into the show, or
huh?
Did you like write into the show to like, hey, put him back in, or is it just
there were petitions?
No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Varian. Okay, well, I don't know who Varian is. Can you give me like a little bit more?
He's an inventor, and his father is part of this secret order, and he doesn't realize that. But one of his inventions, or really it's not his invention, but basically like in the show, Rapunzel has this like secret power or is connected to these black rocks, and the black rocks and his invention encase his father in this like amber. So the entire time in the last half, he's trying to get his father free. So he goes to Rapunzel, asks for help, but Rapunzel is like, you know, trying to deal with the rest of the kingdom, so she can't really help Varian, and Varian feels betrayed and decides to take matters into his own hands and goes after Rapunzel and like all of Corona. So he becomes like kind of evil, and there's like, he's really, really intelligent. He's just like this quirky, funny kid who just had a bad patch in his life.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hate to see that happen, but I mean, he sounds like a really good character.
Yeah. Highly recommend Tangled the series. It's a very good animated show.
You know what I highly recommend?
What?
Ratatouille, the movie, and specifically my number 5 favorite character. Okay, sorry, I just realized I don't have a second favorite character. I probably gotta write something in. My number 5 favorite character is Remy from Ratatouille. Oh my gosh, like he's endearing, right? You know, from the beginning, he's different from his family and everyone around him, and he embraces that. Right, he doesn't try to shun that like a certain ice princess, and he doesn't, you know, try to like let it go. He embraces it, and the story that he goes throughout the movie, you know, where he learns that to be a creator, you need to create. You know, you don't steal from people, and he learns that lesson like once, and then again, you know, after his family's taken food from the pantry. But the scene that I like most about the movie is when he describes the taste of food, and when you have like the soft jazz and then the funky bebop, but you mix them together and you get that explosion of flavor and like contour and stuff. Like that's what I tasted in the omelet that we had this morning. Oh my gosh!
Speaking of omelets, the first omelet he made for Linguini is fire. Like it looked so good.
But yeah, he's just a lovable rat. What can I say? What else do I need to say?
No, it's true. Remy's a great one. Okay. My next one is number 5, and it is Sophia from Sophia the First. So apparently, I found out yesterday that there's this TikTok edit. This is the first and last time I will ever talk about it, but basically, Sophia the First is gaining traction because of her theme song. But she's she's an amazing princess. She was born a commoner, but
she was a girl born in the village doing
all right. Exactly.
But then
she became a princess overnight because her mom, or really the king, fell in love with her mom and they got married. So the show is about her navigating her life being a princess, but also being a stepsister to royals who are born royals. And it's just
awesome.
She's 6, okay? Like, you have to remind yourself she's 6 because she's so mature. Her songs are great. I love almost every single song in the show. And she's just a model for perfect behavior. And also the show itself is very dark. Like, there's a lot of mature themes going on for a Disney Junior show. And, like, a lot of people almost die several times.
What?
Including her stepsister. What? And it's just, like, a really complicated dynamic between a mixed family. And I like that because it is more realistic. Like, no one's going to get along like perfectly at first, but she's really managing her life, and you see her grow up, and by the final episode you're so on her side. You know that she's going to do amazing things.
That's awesome. I really like the way that Disney's been going with their even their junior shows are all like super kick butt. Like what's that one, Elena? She's really cool too.
Okay, I gotta say, Elena of Avalor is subpar behind Sophia the First.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, all right. I don't know if I'm gonna watch that, Sophia, but maybe I don't know.
It's worth your time. I'll say that.
Yeah. Do you know what is worth the time? Okay, my 4th favorite character is do you want? It's Syndrome from The Incredibles. So he's a villain. Yes. I'm gonna put that out there. You know, he's not a good guy in any respect of the word, but he's such a like interesting character because you see him in the first minutes of the film, and he's right offable as like, oh, he's just a kid, you know, with hover boots that wanted to be a sidekick to his hero, like it literally is hero, but gets brushed off, and you're like, you feel bad for him. But then, you know, when they reveal in the second act of the film that he is the bad guy, or rather he's killing heroes, and it's Syndrome, and you go, what? What a great, because like they don't have to spend any time building up his backstory. You already saw it right there.
Exactly.
And then when he's monologuing and he's explaining his idea that when you give people powers, then no one has powers. Like, that's such an iconic line that my brother and I will just talk about with each other, just sometimes like minutes to hours on end. So, you know, other than being a well fleshed out character, even having like a villain that you would sympathize with is great. Disney does that well, like him and Thanos, but him especially.
No, for sure. I totally see that. Also, his look is just iconic.
The spiky red hair.
Yeah. It's more like a paintbrush, actually. It's not that spiky. But I'm so glad you brought up intriguing villains, because that is my number 4 on my list.
Okay.
It's an intriguing villain by the name of Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls, the animated TV show. I will say he doesn't really have a backstory like Syndrome does, which is a fault. But what makes up for it is that Bill is not supposed to be likable in any way, which makes him immediately likable, because he's just a chaos demon. But he also has like these motivations. He's funny. He's sarcastic. He's voiced by the talented Alex Hirsch. He's just, for a triangle, he has so much emotion, and you are very attached to his character.
Right.
And he's the perfect villain because you don't ever pity Bill, but at the same time, you understand him, and you kind of, like, the whole point is, like, how is he coming back? How is he going to, like, achieve what he wants? I can't wait to see that. Yeah.
I've not seen Gravity Falls.
It is my favorite animated show of all time.
Wow, okay.
You should watch it.
That is some high regard right there.
It is amazing for a million different reasons, besides being a mystery show, having an extremely huge fan base because it's so good. And there are Easter eggs in every episode, so...
Shoot, okay.
You should watch it.
That little Dorito of chaos.
Yes, exactly.
Speaking of Doritos, my favorite... Okay, he doesn't have Doritos. My third favorite character, Disney character of all time, is from Tangled. It's... Wait, what's the horse's name? Is it Maximus? Maximus. Yes, the horse. Oh, so good. And you could tell that Disney does just a really good job of fleshing out the characters, but Maximus doesn't say a single word, and yet you follow him throughout the story, every beat. He works as like great comic relief. And then at the end, when you see he gets his apples and he gets to conduct the court guard, is amazing. I love that character. What a freaking great horse.
He is an amazing horse. Number 3, he does talk, but he has limited screen time. Is Tadashi Hamada from Big Hero 6.
Oh.
And you are a person who has brothers. I do not.
Yeah.
But I couldn't think of a better big brother than Tadashi Hamada to Hiro.
Yeah.
He's just the supportive, loving brother that, I mean, like, there's this meme where it's, if he was here right now, he would have solved COVID a long time ago. Just because he's so hardworking and he's just so passionate. Like, he builds Baymax for Hiro, but really for humanity. And he sacrifices his life. Like, that's insane to save a professor who, turns out to be a villain. Not a good time. But he does this, and I always thought that he would come back because the villain did. And he never did. And that was heartbreaking because in such a short amount of time, you're so attached to how he was just like the perfect big brother.
Yeah, I know. And you're like, this can't last. And it didn't.
Yep.
But
sad.
Oh, man. That was great. Yeah, that was such a good movie. That's
6.
another one with like dealing with like adult themes and like loss and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you just want to move on to number 2s then?
Yeah.
So my number 2 is sort of like a big brother character. I mean, he said that they were brothers, but not by blood. My number 2 favorite character of all of Disney is Obi-Wan Kenobi, specifically in the prequels. And that's the Ewan McGregor of the 9 of them. But I love him a lot, just because he's a character that was, after the first movie, thrust the chosen one, and it was his duty to nourish him and to protect him and to have him grow up to be the one who would bring balance to the Force. to destroy the Sith, not join them. In that last scene when they're fighting on, oh shoot, what's that? The lava planet?
I don't remember, but the lava planet.
On the lava
yes,
planet.
Everyone knows the scene.
when he goes, "It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground," is probably the most quoted Star Wars quote I have to date. And then even like his character development in the Clone Wars too is so apparent. Like you see him go from father figure to brother figure to like, and just him being there and. He's the one who killed Grievous as well, which is super dope. Just I don't know, lovable. Number 2, that he's without a doubt my second favorite Disney character of all time.
I totally agree with you. I love Obi-Wan because I don't know. I feel like a lot of Star Wars characters have secret agendas, but I don't really think Obi-Wan ever did. Like he was very upfront with what he wanted and what he was trying to do with Anakin and then like Luke versus like. All the other Jedi are, like, trying to guide the Chosen One to a certain path, but Obi-Wan never did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
He's definitely a... he would definitely fit in with the Jedi of old.
Yeah.
But, that's neither here nor there. What's your second favorite?
My number 2. My number 2 is also kind of a mentor figure, but, like, acts like a brother. It's Rey from Princess and the Frog. And he's just...
Yes.
He's like the lightning bug. And
I thought Rey from Star Wars.
No, not Rey from Star Wars.
Rey the lightning bug.
Rey the lightning bug from Princess and the Frog. He comes in, he has this oh no, what did I do?
What can you not hear it? You're just like
cool. But anyway. He comes in with this really cool song. He has all this family. He's really sarcastic. He has this amazing Cajun accent. And he's in love with a star. Like that's so romantic.
That's sweet. Yeah.
It's exactly what you'd expect from Disney, but they make it in a not cheesy way because it's just showing how much hope he has for the world, and he makes the ultimate sacrifice.
That was awesome.
But he gets with Evangeline at the end, so it's all good.
Man, wow, all of this goodness. Okay, so we just finished our second favorite. Before we move on to the first favorite Disney character of all time, we should do some honorables. What do you think?
Yes.
So I have 2 honorable mentions
right here. I just increased my list to 3 honorable mentions.
Okay, so now I have 3 honorable mentions right here.
When you were talking about one, I immediately thought of one that I had to put.
Do you want to you go through your 3 and then I'll go through my 3?
Okay. And then... All 3 of them? Okay. At number 13, so my third honorable mention, is Natasha Romanoff from the Marvel series. She's an amazing character. Ever since you see her in, like, Avengers, I think it's the first time you see her. Or no, technically it's Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Like, Iron Man 2, you see, like, this woman who is, wanted for one thing that shows that she is something completely different. And she's...
Femme fatale.
Exactly. She's amazing. Love all of her action sequences. But, I mean, like, you guys have seen Endgame. And she's really held it together despite all of her life falling apart. Yeah. And then at the end, she decides, like, no, Clint, you are staying on this planet. You have a family. I do not. Yeah. Like, I have this potential romance, but that's whatever. Like, that's not my true aim in life. And her aim in life was to save S.H.I.E.L.D., and she did.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Number 12 is Vidya from the Pixie Hollow books. So putting in some literature in here. Okay. I think in the movie, they didn't really flesh out her character despite her having, like, an own movie to herself.
Wait, she's from Tinkerbell, right?
She is from
She's the water one?
No, she is the fast-flying one.
Is that... Okay, wait.
Yeah, I don't...
Purple?
Yeah, the purple one. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But, yeah, in the books, you really see why she did all that she did and why she's considered an evil character, because she plucked a feather from Mother Dove to make the fastest pixie dust. But that's also because she was faced with all this discrimination, and she really wanted to prove that she was good at something. Because fast flying is, it's not as cool as, like, making flowers bloom or directing sunlight.
It's better than tinkering.
Okay, that's true. But, like, Tinkerbell was, like, seen as special versus she wasn't. So she took that in her own hands. Wow. And, like, you kind of empathize. Number 11 is Kristoff. Because, but Kristoff in Frozen 2. And it's, again, with the whole... It's really the line that's like, my love is not fragile. Because a lot of Disney tropes, or just tropes in general in movies, is that the minute, like, a character isn't putting as much attention into a relationship, the relationship dissolves because they're like, oh, you don't give me enough attention. But Kristoff completely understands that Anna has a million other things on her plate besides him. And he tells her, like, my love is not fragile. I will always be here for you. Like,
Wow.
and that's as close to true love as you can get.
If that's not love, then what is it?
Mm-hmm.
If that's not friendship, then what is it?
Mm-hmm.
So those are your 3 honorables, huh?
Yep.
Okay. I'll just go through mine. 13, I'll go Phil from Hercules. He's voiced by Danny DeVito, and I've only seen Hercules a handful of times, but besides Hercules, of course, and Meg and Hades, okay, I guess there's a lot of characters, but Phil is definitely a standout character.
Yes.
Very good, but not worthy of the 10. Number 12 is Spider-Man, and this is, I mean, any Spider-Man, I suppose, but I guess the Disney Spider-Man would be Tom Holland.
Okay.
Right? And that's just because, like, I liked the movie a lot. That's
which one?
Spider-Man, I guess both of them, but Homecoming and Far From Home are really good. I like him a lot, just not, enough that he would be in the top 10. And then my 11th favorite is Kylo Ren from the new Star Wars movies. And
well, he wasn't in the old ones.
Right. Okay, sure. Yes, Kylo Ren from Star Wars, specifically new Star Wars. He's able to, like, transfer stuff with Rey, and when he takes that into the combat in the final movies is maybe one of my favorite scenes from the newer movies. It's awesome and phenomenal and wonderful, and he's great, but not as good as, as fleshed out as, like, Thanos or
Yeah, I definitely think that his backstory is a little confusing. I think he's had a lot of ups and downs in his life. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? That's fair enough. But you know who's fairest
of all?
Or best?
Yeah,
who's number 1?
Yeah.
Most favorite? Yeah, you tell me.
Okay.
Yeah, who's your
Here's
favorite
my number 1
Disney character of all time?
My favorite Disney character of all time is Cyrus Goodman from Andy Mack, the show. And it is the best Disney show in existence as of currently. And I will argue that to my dying breath, because Andy Mack is about this girl, and she's Asian American, and she finds out that she's actually the result of a teen pregnancy. And you don't really see that a lot, or at all, in Disney movies, because it's normally like the traditional family, but hers is definitely not traditional. And it's about her discovering that her sister is actually her mom, and it's been like a lie the entire time. And then her seeing her dad, and he didn't even know she existed. And then she has these great friends, and that's where Cyrus comes in. Cyrus Goodman, he has 4 parents. All of them are psychiatrists, psychologists, stuff. Yeah, so he's kind of that character, and he's just idealized. Like, there's no one who's going to be as perfect as him. But he also has his flaws. Like, he's physically challenged, but he's emotionally amazing. He's so mature. Not to mention, he is the first openly gay character in Disney. He comes out to his friend, and it's heartbreaking because they're crying. It's a very emotional time.
Wow.
And at the end, you see him find happiness, and that's all you want, because he is the character we all wish we could be.
Wow, that sounds awesome. Okay. I haven't seen the show.
Zach, you need to see the show.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll get that done.
Good.
That sounds like a good character, though.
Yeah. The show only has 3 seasons, which is rare, because normally if it's successful, and it was extremely successful, they'd go on to a 4th season. But they stopped at 3 because they thought they were, they closed the storylines, and they didn't want to, like, milk it for money.
Right.
Which is so admirable.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay. My number 1 favorite character of all time is Lando Calrissian, but not Lando from episode 5 and even 6 or even 9. I'm talking about Lando from Solo, the Star Wars story. Solo is a great movie, on its own respect. I like it a lot. I'm not sure how many of my friends share that same regards, but watching it the summer that I graduated high school with my buddies at a $2 theater is one of my favorite memories. Right before we went off to college. And Solo, Lando is played by Donald Glover, which, in any other case, Donald Glover would be amazing in his own regard, but him being in Star Wars, playing also a great character is phenomenal. I like the way, he talks, and the way he walks around his ship. He's able to tell Han Solo exactly what he needs to do, what he's actually looking for, and he ends up sacrificing. He sacrifices his ship, which he loves a lot. So, is that the ultimate sacrifice? That's neither here nor there. But him being just phenomenal, just a wonderful person of color. You know, his acting is great, lovable, I suppose.
Yeah.
And he's just like a son of a gun that you could like go to a bar and sit down and have a drink with. So.
Very true. I will say that I fell asleep through Solo every time I've watched it, but the reason I stayed awake for so long was because of Lando.
There you go.
So, you know?
if you can, yeah, good character. That's a sign of a good character.
It is.
There you go. But that's my number 1, and that's your number 1, and 10 and 13, and my 10 and 13. There you go.
Yeah.
So that's it. I don't know. That's, cool. We're going up on like 30 minutes, it looks like.
I hope that you watch the shows I recommended.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go.
I hope everyone does.
What are they?
Tangled, the anime series, Sophia the First, and Andy Mack, and Gravity Falls. Andy Mack, Gravity Falls, especially. They are shows for any age.
Okay. Cool. And then mine would be like I recommend all the Star Warses.
Yes.
I think that's it. Awesome. Is there anything you want to plug, Kaitlyn Ang, now that you're here, that you're on the podcast with all the awesome viewership that we get across multi-platforms?
I'm just happy because I've been a fan of Zach Jose for a while now, so I'm happy I can finally be on his podcast.
All right, any socials and stuff you got to plug, or you stream on Twitch?
I have a Facebook.
There you go. Kaitlyn Ang on Facebook.com. Make sure to add her and then private message her, hey, Zach Jose's podcast sent me, and she will be your best friend.
Yeah.
I can't promise that. I actually. Well, thank you so much, Kaitlyn. This has been awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for potting with me.
This
has
been
me. Every Day, Zach Jose, episode, what episode? Like 14 in the books.